poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we are taking a look at Arcane. Yes, we took a League of Legends yesterday, and now we're taking a look at Arcane because of the announcement of Arcane coming out next year for Season 2. So here we are with my updated League of Legends character from the one that we had on the TP Heroes Instagram account, and we're going to be talking about Arcane. I did watch it when it first came out, and I absolutely loved it. So let's get into my true thoughts and opinions. But first, I'm just going to do a little bit of self-promotion. If you do want to check out my LEGO customs on Arcane, my Arcane figure reviews, or my League of Legends gameplay videos, they're all on the channel, all ready to watch, easily findable on my channel because I make a playlist for absolutely everything. And anyway, with that being it, let's get into the actual review of Arcane. It is a 9-episode series on Netflix. You can go watch it now. It is available on Netflix because Netflix is the home of League of Legends, apparently. And I watched this because I thought it looked cool. I had no idea what League of Legends was before this, and it is the origins of two iconic League of Legends champions set in the utopian Piltover and the oppressed underground of Zaun. So those are the two sides of the city, the underground being the mistreated side and Piltover being the rich side. And we do have the episode 1 with Welcome to the Playground. Orphan sisters Vi and Powder bring trouble to Zaun's underground streets in the wake of a heist in the posh Piltower. Then we have the idealistic inventor. Jace attempts to harness magic through science. Despite the mentor's warnings, criminal kingpin Silco tests powerful substance. Then episode 3, the base, violence necessary for change. An epic showdown between old rivals results in a fateful moment of Zaun. You can continue to read the rest of these because I am very much struggling. I'll try and read them the best I can, but I'm very slow at reading, and I do struggle with reading, and I do want to go into the story and the start of this series, because it is a good one, and I have a lot to say, so I want to get it all out as fast as possible. So I do apologize for not reading all the synopsis, but you don't want to hear my robotic reading voice, you want to hear my happy, upbeat voice. So, let's get into the series as a whole, shall we? It starts off with Vi, Powder, and then two other of their friends going to the posh town of Piltover to go steal from this big tower, this science lab, and it seems all fun and cool. We get introduced to this new band of characters. They steal a load of stuff. Powder is the inventor. Vi is the leader. We have the brains in the other two, and the brawn in the other two. I do forget their names. They were only in 3 episodes, and I'll explain why in a bit. Powder is like the little kid, the little girl who's helpless, who still wants to come on, the little sister who has to get, whose mum made you take along on your going out adventures with your friends. And they end up getting into a scrap, and Powder is the one that runs away, and she throws all the goods they found into the water to get the attackers off her back. They then go home. They bench her from the next mission, but she invents a bomb, and she does continue to come under her own free will, but ends up getting the other two killed. Vi is then put in prison and leaves her, and their father gets turned into a monster. Vi then gets taken out of prison by the enforcers to hunt down Jinx, who they find out is Powder. Jinx is Powder's alias because she goes with Silco, who is a villain of the underground who is planning to take over Piltover, and he runs an underground organization. They then get killed by Powder, of Jinx, whichever one you would like to call her, because she finds this substance called arcane energy, and it kills her. No, it doesn't kill her. She uses it to kill the others, and she's slowly being corrupted, and you can see her descent into madness and her descent into craziness as time goes on and as the series develops. We also have a third story of the people of Piltover with two aspiring scientists, one from the Undercity and one from Piltover itself, and they are also discovering and learning about the arcane energy, and it is also killing the other guy from the underground city. It is healing him, but it is also killing him and making him dependent on this new substance, which is also affecting Jinx. We have a lot of scenes with Vi fighting against Jinx, and we do have a big plot twist ending of Jinx pulling up Caitlyn, an enforcer, teaming up with Vi to locate Jinx after a heist made by Echo creates Jinx an opportunity to break in to the airship and destroy it and steal what she needs. Echo is a friend of theirs that they knew from childhood that they technically abandoned, and he grew up to be a freedom fighter of the Undercity and runs his own little gang of freedom fighters, and he has his own little city, his own little village in the Undercity of a nice little paradise area where Vi takes Caitlyn. Vi then also teams up with the scientist from the Overcity to get these big fuck-off gauntlets, which she uses to kick some major ass in the Undercity to get the information she needs to find Jinx, which is the underground sort of crime syndicate. She fights her way through that with the help of a sniper, Caitlyn. And then it ends with Jinx making her iconic Sharky missile launcher, fires it at the tower in Piltover, and it blows up, and that is the end of Season 1 as we know it. So Jinx has reached her breaking point, and she ends up killing the Council of Piltover, or we assume killing the Council of Piltover. So it does end on a massive cliffhanger. So that's the story as a whole, as I can recount it, but I really like the conflict that it builds, because it has so much emotion, and being 9, 40-minute episodes, so they're not short episodes, but it has that unique animation style that Spider-Verse has. It's trying to create its own new animation style, and I like that, because again, with Spider-Verse, it has 3D and 2D elements, and it mixes them. This does too, and it is so cool. And we can see Jinx's descent into madness and into decay of the mind, I'm going to put it, because of her outbursts and the drawings and how she sees things, because there is real 3D things, but there'll be 2D things drawn on top of it, so we see it as she sees it, as like demons, scary, and how her mind is altering real things to change it to how, she sees fit, or how her mind is tricking her into seeing things differently because of all the trauma she's been through. And I really like that sort of mental health representation through that. It's a really good way of representing it, with the sort of 3D object in the background, but with the 2D object on top of it, to show that the real thing is there, but she can't see it because something's in front of it, or her mind is altering what it is. And you can see her raw emotion with her screams, her cries of anger and sadness throughout the entire series, her psychotic laughter as well, as she's lighting up the streets with her pig minigun. She has animal-based weapons. She has monkey bombs, and she really likes animals, and that was one of her first bombs that ended up killing 2 of her best friends and ended up making Vi abandon her. Continuing on, we have the nice conflict of the sisters grew up together, you saw them grow together, you saw them argue, fight like normal sisters would, but then we see the breaking point where Vi left Powder and how that affected both of their upbringings. Because there is a time skip after episode 3 to where they're both teenagers, and I quite like that, because we get to see the past of how this came to be, and now at the point of impact, or the biggest significance of the past, and how it's affected everyone. So we spend the next, quick math here, 6 episodes in the present of Piltover and Zorn, the Undercity, whichever one you want to call it. And we do get a lot of political bullshit and, like, the council and how they're running Piltover. None of that really interested me. I didn't really care for the scientists' story. It didn't really catch me. The scientist story sort of seemed a little strange to me, but it did tie in with the other two, and I liked that. How all three stories intertwined with each other and affected each other in ways which you didn't expect. And they always sort of switch between these three stories, and they handled them very well. It was a big cast of characters, and they handled them all so well. Everyone got their screen time, and each story had an equal amount of screen time, or in my opinion, it did anyway. And the pacing was really good, because we had 3 episodes dedicated on the past, and then we had the next 7 episodes showing the change that the characters are having, and the impacts of the past, and the impact of moving forward from past mistakes and trying to fix that, and some people being willing to fix it or try and make it better, and others not being as willing to do so. The animation style as well is just magnifique. It has nothing to do with the game. I am going to put that out there. The game has nothing to do with this except the characters and the lore, which is, if I'm going to be honest, my favourite part of the League of Legends game. I much prefer the lore to the gameplay. I sat and played League of Legends Wild Rift literally after watching this. I watched this and then I played the game, sort of like Cyberpunk 2077, how everyone did that. But again, I wasn't that interested in the gameplay. The game was pretty garbage, and I did make a review on that, so you can go check that out. I'm not going to get too much into it here, but the character designs are really cool as well. Each character was obviously designed for the game, but they translate into this art style really well. It's a different art style to the game and the game's sort of promotional material, and it's a new art style, and they translate really well, and if not, I think they look better in this style than they do in the game style. Sorry, I did start choking there, so I did have to cut it a little short. But the voice acting, we have a high-end cast of characters. We have the same voice actor for Spider-Gwen playing Vi, and so many other famous celebrities here voicing this cast. And this series took so long to make. I do believe it took like 5 years, like 3 to 5 years to make, just because of how good this art style is. Look at his beard. It's like 2D lines drawn in like a 3D model, and I like that. That's the push for animation right now. Combining 2D and 3D elements. It's in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mutant Mayhem. It's in Spider-Verse. It's in Puss in Boots, and it is such a good, refreshing animation style. And I'm so happy that it's being pushed through series and film, and it's just how we're going to be looking at movies going forward, and it's just pushing and revolutionizing animation as a whole. It does also change the character design from the games, oh so slightly. They're just wearing different clothes, I do believe. The clothes are a little different, and they've taken away some of their little accessories, or given them extra accessories. So the character designs for this are a lot better, I'm going to say. I like the character designs much more than the games, and I do rock the Arcane skin in the game. But I cannot praise this series enough. It is so good. Go watch it. It came out during COVID, so it was the perfect time to watch it. You had all this free time, and if you haven't watched it, what have you been doing? Go watch it now. It's so good. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It is near perfect. I'm only dropping it with that 1 point because some of the story was a little boring, and it did not, like, you know, I didn't connect as well with the science too, and that's why I'm going to drop it a little bit, because I connected with the other characters. I just didn't really feel that connection with those two, so their storyline did sort of bore me a little bit, and I did see myself reaching for the phone. But that's my only nitpick with this. The rest of it is absolutely fucking excellent, and you should go watch it right now. It's just an artistic masterpiece, and I recommend you watch it. Go watch it now. Go, go, go.